Well, hello everybody on this very early morning, and as we know, today is officially the launch day of Metal Gear Solid 3 Delta, something I've been anticipating for a long time. So in anticipation for that, I thought I would revisit, or actually finally review. It's actually pretty criminal that I've had this sitting on my shelf for years, and I've actually never reviewed it on the show. So I literally had to dust this thing off and get it ready so that I can actually review it on the show. This figure has been with me for a very long time, and I just got super excited. Let's hope that Metal Gear Solid Delta lives up to the legend that we're going to be reviewing today. I can honestly say that the theme of this episode is definitely nostalgia. We're going into Metal Gear Solid Delta. I'll be live streaming that today sometime when I get around to it. But this figure is really an anachronism for an earlier time when Hot Toys was still kind of working out some of the, kinks in these figures. This is really like an anachronism to a much earlier time in the early versions of the Hot Toys offerings, which, this is really like a time machine, time capsule in what these figures used to be. And you can see the evolution and how they've refined and perfected their craft over the years. So let's go back to some, just come back with me to a little bit of a memory lane. For those of you who have owned this figure for a very long time, you'll be familiar. And for those of you who are new to the Hot Toys game, this is going to be kind of like a look back to a time when things were a little bit different when it came to the Hot Toys offerings. Alright guys, so let's get into this one. Today we're going to be reviewing Hot Toys version of Naked Snake, the sneaking suit version, the 1/6 scale figure. Let's take a closer look. It's very strange in the collecting world because something could be sitting on your shelf for a very long time. You can get so used to it that sometimes you forget to appreciate how actually stunning they are. Now, I've had this for a very long time, and again, I've gotten used to it over the years, but now that I'm reviewing it on the channel and giving it a second closer look, this thing is actually pretty spectacular. Now, there have been other offerings of Metal Gear figures in the 1/6 scale. Some of them were very cartoony looking and lacked some of the definition and just quality, but here, Snake is perfectly recreated, or as much as he can be, in 1/6 scale, and the head sculpt is absolutely outstanding. I like that it is actually sculpted hair. The bandana looks fantastic, especially the eye patch. Countenance in the face is great, the beard stubble is fantastic, and of course he has the bandana flowing in the back. It looks really great. In so many ways, this figure was really ahead of its time, and when Hot Toys got the license for Metal Gear, I think they went all in terms of just making sure that it was a spectacular figure. Now, the midsection and upper torso of this piece is fantastic. I mean, just look at how much detail is there. This is a full body suit, but just the details in the craftsmanship is really fantastic. If you look at the sheath and the knife, it has those nice smoke grenades, and look at the pouches. They're actually fully functional. They have metal kind of like buckles, which is a really nice detail. I love that canteen in 1970s era, Vietnam era. It does read CCCP on the sneaking suit. Textures and color palettes are here. I love those oranges that offset the black and the gray. It's just spectacular. I want to give a little bit more attention to the suit because it's really great. Here you see the working buckles and the hinges in the kind of like crotch area. Looks really fantastic, and again, everything is fully functional. That's pretty remarkable at this scale. Now, this is the sneaking suit version. I would have much preferred that they did a version of the actual camo jungle, but they didn't. The boots here are pretty spectacular. You have the iconic knife that he has in his boot. Again, there's a lot of flexibility here too in terms of the malleability with a ball joint system, so the suit is not restrictive at all. And again, it's a full rubber body suit, but I've never worried that it's gonna have cracking issues. Now, this is actually not the M16 that it comes with. This is something that I ordered third party. I didn't realize that it does come with an M16 with an extended mag, but nevertheless, this just goes to show you that if you're gonna do kit bashes, they work really well with these figures, and this is a really nice rendition of the N16. It simply doesn't have the extended mag, but this does come with the figure, and I'll show you in a minute. And it looks really spectacular when you order these kind of like third-party weapons for any figure. It looks really great, and I think this looks awesome here. Now, you're definitely going to want to mirror this piece because there's a lot going on the reverse side that's pretty great. Here you have a closer look at the actual hair sculpt. Again, it's sculpted hair for obvious reasons. The bandana is really nice. and I have it flowing from left to right depending on your perspective, and it does have a nice wire mesh in there so you can manipulate it. Now this is what I really love, and it's funny because I actually owned these pouches when I was a kid. I used to play Army a lot, and that really gave me a lot of nostalgia from my childhood. You get a greater appreciation of how he attaches to the base, some fan service there, but it's obscured with the pouches. I would say mirror this because there's enough detail in those pouches and they look really fantastic. Now, I've talked about this several times on the show, guys, and this is what I mean by this is a throwback and anachronism to a much earlier time in Hot Toys where for some reason they were obsessed with oblong bases that didn't really fit well. And this is a perfect example of what I'm talking about. Now, it does read Metal Gear Solid 3 Snake Eater, and then it has this kind of like triangular wedge that goes on the actual kind of like base, and it does read Naked Snake and then the Sneaking Suit version. The problem that I had with these is, one, they don't fit very well, or the figures don't fit very well because there's not enough real estate, and two, the wedge usually obscured what was written on the actual flat surface of the base, so that caused, you know, a lot of problems in terms of display. Now, this figure comes with a cacophony of weapons. As you know, it's Solid Snake or Naked Snake. Now, he does come with the M60. I chose not to use this weapon because I like the M16 or the way that it looks a little bit more. It does come with this kind of like box magazine, and you can see the actual ammo or the ammo belt going into the box. Now the cool thing about this is that it is, you know, fully functional. Here's the M16. It does have the extended mag, and it is removable, and of course his sidearm with the suppressor, and these things are very detailed. Again, this figure was way ahead of its time in terms of the overall craftsmanship and detail. I'm going to switch it to the extended mag now that I know that it's part of the figure. Again, early on when I was doing reviews, I just forgot to like check the trays. Now, here are some additional options in terms of kind of like accessories. He does come with a ration canister, the binoculars. I think that is a stun gun or something like that. I can't really remember. This is probably the tranquilizer gun, and of course a claymore mine, which is pretty spectacular. Some nice washes on the claymore mine, so it does look like it's been used. These little accessories were really cool. This is really nice because you can display this like on a diorama, and you can show the full spectrum of the displays and armaments that he has. Of course, if you remember from the game, he basically went into Russia and he didn't have any weapons, or very little weapons. Now this is actually the coolest thing. You do get a cardboard box, just like you know, we've had this legacy cardboard box in the Metal Gear series for a very long time. The cool thing about this is that it's actually made out of cardboard, and you can build it or fold it into place just like an actual cardboard box. Again, the attention to detail on this figure was pretty remarkable. I actually didn't realize I had this, of course, but now that I do, once I'm rethinking how I'm going to display it. And of course, rounding out the last bit of accessories are 4 additional hand arms, so to speak. Now the reason that I say hand arms is because they actually extend all the way up. So you see how much more elongated they are. Now this is a little bit restrictive, but again, this was an earlier version of the Hot Toys where they had a different concept of what the hands or how they plugged into the figure. So this is what we get. A little bit restrictive in terms of the movement, but everyone has a function. Now, what can I say about this figure? This has been with me for a very long time. I actually really love this figure. It looks iconic. It's a throwback to, I guess, an evolution of what Hot Toys figures would be. This is a legendary figure. This is absolutely stunning. There's no way that I could not have this in my collection. And I hope to, you know, the gods, the old and the new, that they start making new 1/6 scale figures. I actually have the boss, so I'm going to be reviewing that on the channel as well. But guys, this is just a magnificent figure. If you're a Metal Gear fan, and if you can still find this one, definitely pick it up because it is absolutely amazing. Alright everybody, so that's my official review on Hot Toys' version of Naked Snake, the Sneaking Suit version, the 1/6 scale figure. As always, I thank you for tuning in, and I'll see you on the next Raw Desert Reviews. Look out for the live stream, guys. I'll be streaming very soon.
What a thrill, with darkness and silence through the night. What a thrill, I'm searching and I'll melt into you. What a fear in my heart, but you're so supreme. I give my life not for honor, but for you. In my time, there'll be no one else. Crime, it's the way I fly to you. I'm still in a dream, snake eater. Someday you go through the rain, and someday you'll feed on a tree frog. It's ordeal, the trial to survive.